Split this up.
Okay.
Yo, what it do? What the? Hi, I'm James. Why you look like that? You look like that and make it look like I'm doing something you don't agree with. When you look like that, you make it seem like, what is he
I
doing?
don't make it seem like anything. I think that it's just.
I'm James and you are.
I'm Ultimate.
Okay. This is the James. Sir, this is the Alti and James Show. We don't edit out anything either, so. How's everybody doing? Happy Memorial Day.
Yeah.
2026. And Ultime's and I, today's show, you'll hear our daughter in the background getting dinner at 8:57. But that's another story. We wanted this to be like the memory show. This will be the show where I get into my producer bag and I pull up my questions of like memories.
Okay.
Since this is Memorial Day, I think it'll be fun. We'll give a good 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? What you think? And I'll start with asking a question. You answer it, and then you come back with a question for me. Okay. How does that sound?
That sounds fine.
All right. You sure?
Mm-hmm. Because he comes prepared with questions. He didn't say, babe, that you should have questions too.
So let me ask you, did I not tell you that this will be the memory show?
Yes, but you did not say how you wanted to address it or bring it up.
So that didn't put you in a place of like positive memory?
I'm not trying to, you have questions ready.
Right. So you should be prepared for this because during our dating phase, I asked you these type questions. So you familiar with my type of questioning, and you might have answered some of these.
Okay, let's go.
All right. So I'm going to be a little spicy. I'm going to start this off with something a little spicy. You okay with spicy?
Yeah.
Your most memorable date.
And
it doesn't have to include me.
No,
it don't have to.
Trick.
No,
that's a trick question.
I'm starting out spicy.
That's a trick question.
No, it's not.
That is.
I realized there's life before James. Do you have a memorable date?
There's no life.
All right, so you want me to ask a different question? All right. So your most memorable car ride, like the car ride that you was very, it could be good, it could be bad, it could be anything, but you remember this particular car ride. The
ride from Richmond to Atlanta when I moved.
Oh, okay. Explain. That's good. I didn't see that. What? What happened?
So I grew up in the DMV.
Okay.
But I went to Atlanta every summer.
Okay, right.
All the time.
Right.
So I knew I loved Atlanta and I wanted to be there.
Yeah.
And then when I realized where I wanted to work, it was the icing on the cake. So while everybody was, enjoying spring break senior year, I actually came to Atlanta, locked in an apartment, interviewed with Radio Disney, set everything up. So
wait, you work for Radio Disney?
Mm-hmm.
You never told me you worked for Radio.
I interned there in Richmond and they transferred me to Atlanta.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
You never. I know like your the memorable jobs, but I never knew you worked at Radio Disney. That's another story. Okay, I learned something new tonight. That
was one of the jobs that transferred me to Atlanta.
Okay.
So
this is getting interesting.
I remember Tracy.
Okay.
Was with me.
Shout out to Tracy.
So Tracy helped move me to Atlanta.
Is it Tracy Love Grace or Tracy Grace?
Tracy Love Grace.
Okay, yeah. Yes. Got you. Shout out.
So she helped me move. Yeah. And then my roommate Tamika. Hey, Tamika. And then my mom. So those were the ones who helped me move. Mm-hmm. And we hit Atlanta probably at like 5:04 in the morning. Tracy and Mika were asleep. Mm-hmm. Mom was in the front driving the U-Haul. Yeah. And I remember the skyline. Yeah. And I remember praying and just like in a state of gratitude because this is what I had asked for. This is what I prayed for. Yeah. And it wasn't fully what I wanted yet, right? I had a job in mind. I did not have that job yet. Yeah. But I was grateful to even have the opportunity. And it's crazy because people thought I was crazy when I left because I didn't have a real job. Yeah. Because I was an intern at Radio Disney, they couldn't bring me on full time. Mm-hmm. So it was literally like a part-time gig. So I didn't really have a job. I'm just like out there winging it.
Right.
That's memorable. Like I remember that.
Baby, can we practice like keeping the stories?
You know what?
I'm just asking.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, y'all.
Okay, what got your attention? Okay. All right, it's your turn to ask me a question.
Okay. Wait, if I ask questions, do you answer them? Sometimes he don't answer my questions.
What's the point of the...
He'd be like,
a question is an answer.
A great question.
I will not be like that in front of these people, and I won't do that.
So
you ask a question. This is the memory show. Asking you a question you would want to know the answer to, or somebody may want to know the answer to. Jeez.
Okay. So what?
If you need help,
what was your greatest? And I think I asked you this before.
Okay.
So what was something that you at that moment in that time was completely not planned at all?
Okay, can you ask like a memory question? What is this? Ain't no memory question. Use memory in the question.
Okay. What is your most memorable?
I did do what she said I was going to do.
Yeah, he did. What was your most memorable moment in your childhood?
There are a lot. It's like so vague. I don't remember a lot from my childhood. So can I ask you to be more specific? Can you give like a time frame, like a date or a period? Oh, most memorable thing from high school. Graduating. And I'll tell you why. So up until 10th grade, I was a high achiever. When I hit 10th grade is when I moved to Statesboro. I remember distinctly algebra, Spanish, and biology. I was taking those three. I failed all those three. So that put me behind. So that dropped my GPA. So I basically had to scramble 11th and 12th grade to even graduate because and I failed for the year, so it was whole credits. So I was down 3 whole credits, which this in Georgia was a transition when it was like 4. We had to get 4 Englishes, 4 maths, and all that stuff, 3 sciences and things like that. So I distinctly getting to the end and getting that. So 10th grade was just tough. It was a lot of identity issues. There was a lot going on with me during that particular time. My parents, my stepdad and my mom, my sisters, like it was just a lot happening with me, transitioning without help without mentorship. So that graduating, 10th grade, which affected basketball, which affected me playing football, which then in turn, I broke my ankle. Like just my senior year was a crazy senior year because I broke my ankle in October of 1999, completely broke it playing football. I was starting at football, got hurt. I spent my whole senior year in like a wheelchair and crutches. So I didn't get to play basketball my senior year or any of the stuff that I wanted to do my senior year. It was just spent like trying to recover. And then I didn't fully recover, So yeah, just to be able to go through all that and graduate, memorable. Wow. My turn. Memory of a time that you were the most sickest. Like you thought it was like, and non-COVID, like you was like so sick that you was like, I don't think I'm gonna make it.
So I don't get sick often.
Right.
So,
but you remember this sickness though?
Probably first trimester of pregnancy.
Pregnancy. Okay.
Just because I was throwing up all the time.
You was throwing up all the time.
All the time.
Was it like smells? Was it food?
Everything.
What was it? It was everything.
Everything. I threw up until the 5th month.
Okay.
Stopped, and then it came back the 9th month.
Was it again smells, food? Was it all of it?
Yeah.
Wow. What was it? Like, was it one of those where I know this baby's coming and this is part of the process? Was it one of those thoughts?
So the first trimester was ridiculous.
Okay.
And then you add on like being sleep, like pregnancy sleep is you.
Yeah.
You can fall asleep at a drop of dime, but you can't now without. You can't. You have no control.
You can do that without.
No, I can't.
So I'm saying yes, you can.
So, but it's worse.
Okay, thank you.
It's worse. So then it was just a lot. That was miserable. By the 3rd month, I would actually consider myself quite adapted to it. I don't know how good this is,
right.
but I would be at work and our buildings were separate.
Yeah.
So I'd have to walk across the street to go to one of the buildings.
Yeah.
And I would, in between meetings, feel nauseous and I have to throw up. And I would literally go into the bushes, throw up, rinse my mouth out, spit the water out, keep going.
Wow.
So I got like that. It became the thing.
That's cool.
It was just like, all right, here we go. And I knew I started to learn where the nausea would sit, so I could actually like help it move up, so I won't feel it much, and I would know where to rub on my body, and it would just come up, and I'd be done.
See, that's not as bad as the question as you probably thought in your head initially, because I would have never known that because I wasn't with you when you were pregnant. So that was pretty good. I think that was a good question for those who maybe nah. That brought up a memorable time. That pregnancy is a time of remembrance. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I know how to ask questions. Go ahead. You next.
Oh my gosh. Do I have to keep memorable in there?
Yes, because this is the...
Okay.
Why would you want to do anything outside of the memorial episode of the Alti and James Show?
What was your most memorable lesson in relationships?
You're not fun.
This is
like, let's get serious, and it's not supposed to be serious.
What?
I'll answer the question, but I mean, like, ask fun stuff.
Okay.
I'll answer your question. No. The most memorable time in a relationship.
No, that's not what I said.
What was the question?
I said, what's your most memorable lesson from a relationship?
It's a lesson. Any lesson. Every lesson is different. I mean, every relationship is different.
Right. So what's
I just told you what the memory is. The memory is every relationship is different.
Okay.
Every relationship is different.
That's a great way
to trying to set me up for it.
No, I didn't.
Get out of here.
Okay, go ahead.
You're trying to ask me something to get me in trouble.
How get you in trouble with
I'm asking you something fun. This is supposed to be a fun episode and you serious it out. This goes back to the comedic level in which you have. What is the most memorable gift you've ever received?
An Adventure Time blanket.
Explain. What is that? I know that's a cartoon, Cartoon Network. Yeah. So let me go deeper. Who gave it to you and why was it memorable?
My friend Shalita.
What was so memorable about it? There's a story behind that.
No, there's no story. Okay. I think that she knows me well. So she got me a gift.
Yeah.
And it was an Adventure Time blanket. And we actually still have it. I love that blanket.
Okay, your turn. I mean, that was a great way to keep it short and cute. Go ahead.
You're weird too.
I'm not.
You are.
Can we keep it on the memory?
Anyway.
Can you ask another question? Next time, I'm sorry. I'll give you pre-show the write-up.
Thank you. So, because that's what you're supposed to do.
Or you could just get on your phone and ask some great questions if you can't come up with it.
What is your most memorable? What's your most memorable? That's not the right word. What is something that someone has shared with you that you will never forget? Like a lesson, like something to help you through life.
I don't have any.
You don't have no mentors?
No.
Nobody ever sat with you and be like,
nothing that's
in life.
Nothing that sat with me. If I had to say anything, I just remember the conversations that I would have with a gentleman by the name of Mr. McDonald, who my dad, I was like 9, 10, I was like 11. My stepdad would take me over to this gentleman's house. And Mr. McDonald was this older gentleman who was a historian. And Mr. McDonald was very much into the African diaspora and just kind of like the whole thing of who we were as people before. Like, he's one of those guys. He had incense, he had canes, he whittled canes. Like, he was that dude. Like, he was that guy. If you could picture that guy. He had a long beard, he had locks. Like, he was that guy. I just remember sitting there listening to him and my stepdad talk. That's pretty much it. If you ask me, most of my advice didn't come from mentors. It came from books. Like I said, I've been reading since I was 4. So if you ask me that question, it'd be people I never met. Martin, Malcolm, Stokely Carmichael, John Lewis. You know what I'm saying? Like, I took from those things, because those are the things that I was reading as I was coming up. If you ask me now, probably stuff from Brene Brown. She does a lot of stuff on vulnerability. I think that helps me with my ability to share things that may seem nasty and ugly to other people and be able to get it out. But as far as somebody putting their hand on my shoulder, I don't have any I don't have any memories of those, but I can tell you, like, from the books that I read and the stories, I was a huge fan of General Patton. A lot of people don't know this, but I studied war generals a lot, like Alexander the Great, even Napoleon, John Pershing, John Marshall. Like I'm a big historian, so I used to. You'll see me watching war stuff. Like I'm a huge fan of like those strategies. I think that's kind of like the coaching me or whatever. Even I know saying his name. Even the German generals during World War II, Germany during World War One was like the superpower that everybody was scared of. So like they had techniques and tactics and style that we have taken from them. Like Germany's very interesting, and having lived over there after, the Nazi regime, and after, I lived in Germany I was in Germany when the Berlin Wall fell. A lot of people don't know that about me. So like, I lived in West Germany, right? And you didn't go to East Germany because it was a communist, but like I was there in the vicinity of, Stuttgart, when the wall fell, Munich and all those other places. Like I was there. So I've been a part of historical things. Like to me at that time, that was huge, right? And then a year later, we get what happened with Magic Johnson. So like I've been a part of some like crazy things that have happened. Like people don't realize like the Berlin Wall fell, then you had Magic Johnson's crazy. Like so when you ask me that question, I was just thinking like there really hasn't been any human man. Like it's really been like from historical figures and people in books that people have written about more so.
So no one living but those dead.
If you had asked me now, I would probably say Noble sticks with me, but I wouldn't consider him to be a mentor or anybody of importance.
Or it could just be someone who said something to you.
I wouldn't think Noble said stuff and it just rolled on my back like a wet duck. I'm sorry. He might do this. He ain't gonna listen. He don't care about what I do. Go ahead. My turn. The most memorable episode of television that you watched. Like you'll never forget this episode.
Oh, I got two.
Okay, two. Okay.
No, I got three.
You just keep. Give us two.
All right. The wedding episode of Different World.
You watched that live?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Yeah, and I still watch.
Was it on tape delay? It was live.
Nah.
Okay.
The episode of Fresh Prince when they were stuck in the basement.
Okay.
And
you're gonna sneak in the third. Okay, that's fine.
Yep, I am. The Cosby Show episode where Claire Huxtable went off on what's that dude's name? And he was like, "Oh, I didn't know you do that." And she was like, "Do what?" He was like, "That." And he was like, "Serve." And she was like, "Serve whom?" "Oh, my man." I won't forget that. It sounded like she was rapid, how she responded. And I think that was not in script.
Why you yelling at people?
I don't know, but that was that. I think they said that was not in script. The
microphone picks up your voice.
Yeah, I think they said that wasn't in script. That was her.
That was Felicia Rashad doing that thing?
Yeah.
I got you.
That was dope.
Okay, your turn.
What is your most memorable moment with Deucey?
One he don't know about.
Okay.
When he was born.
Okay.
I was like the first person. I still got the video. I was in there with my camera, like to see him in that incubator thing, like the little thing that they put the baby in.
Yeah.
That was at that moment. It was real. Like at that moment, in an instant. Like everything that I had lived for before was like, it went out the window, which was myself, right? At that moment, you got this living, breathing being that is brought into this world that doesn't know anything. And you're tasked with helping him grow, learn, feed, you know what I'm saying? And you don't know, he's 9 going on 10 now. You just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You don't, and you're hoping for a healthy baby, you know what I'm saying? And he was a C-section, but you're just hoping for a healthy baby. And then after that initial, now you worry about mom, right? But the first thing is, you know what I'm saying, the kid as he comes out and they got to squeegee his nose, and I got a chance to cut the cord and all the other stuff. But like that, he'll that moment alone, it'll probably be coupled with his graduation from high school, which then maybe topped off by him getting married or having kids or whatever happens in his life. Like, but right now, day one is probably been the most memorable thing. Like just him coming to, because just from going through the pregnancy, like it's even no matter how difficult. And shout out to, and we talking about memorial. I do want to say a huge rest in peace to those mothers who've given birth and had complications and difficulties or did not make it through childbirth, but the baby did. Like in those moments, man, you're just grateful that everything is okay. Because we know, especially how Black women are, in hospitals and the medical system. But like, this is Memorial Day. I would love to be able to memorialize all those women who sacrificed their bodies, because it is a sacrifice for y'all. Like it's such a huge sacrifice. So just all that happens in that moment for a man who's aware. You know what I'm saying? And then now you turn your attention to mom and make sure she's good and make sure that she does her connection with the baby and all the other things like that. And even now, still to this day, I value their connection. I value their connection because it's stronger than anything I could have went through, because he wasn't incubated inside my body. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that would be him. This is a good one. For those who may or may not know, my wife is an amazing writer. So what is the most memorable piece of writing that you've written that you will like? It's like you may not know all the words, but like the first line, the middle. Like what is that? What is that article? What is that Facebook post? What is that poetry? What is that? What is the most memorable piece of art that you've written?
So I can remember. I was saying this to you earlier. So I don't remember things I say. I remember how things feel.
Okay.
So there was, I think it was a Mother's Day service or something.
Yeah.
I was in high school and I shared one of my poems to the congregation as a part of the service.
Yeah.
And I distinctly remember when I was done, it was silence. Like the whole church was silent for a moment. And the first lady, she was like, I wish there was more. And no one was saying anything. Yeah. I was just like, okay. And then they clapped and stuff. Yeah. But like I remember that. When I write, depending upon, especially if it's in a moment of encouragement for other people,
I got you.
I don't remember.
You don't?
No. I think the Holy Spirit takes over.
Okay. Wow.
I don't. If you ask me to repeat it, I could never repeat what I said because it's not something that is coming from my head. Yeah. It's coming from my heart.
Right.
So I say it and I let it go. So I do that in my writing too, which is why journaling helps me release stuff. I write it and I let it go.
That's good to know. Okay. Big time.
What was your most memorable game, if you have one?
That I played?
Yeah.
That I coached?
Coached.
The most memorable game that I coached. As a head coach or as a high school coach?
Doesn't matter. You pick.
I'll never remember this game. This is probably the most intense game for those from Georgia who knows. 2017. It was Norcross versus Pebblebrook at Pebblebrook. When I say, you talk about high level, you talk about big time athletes. Colin Sexton, Pebblebrook. They had Drew Jennings. They had a team. They had a good team, and this matchup was to go to the Final Four. It was an Elite Eight matchup in the highest classification. You could not. When I say standing room, the fans weren't sitting down. They were standing that whole time. Like it was so. Like when you talk about cutting the tension with a knife, it was such a well played game at such a high level. I don't know if. There probably has been, but like in the state of Georgia in that time, and Coach Mack probably could. He's been in some high-level games. if you just been in a high level game where on the floor is like, especially high school, where the talent, you know, you got pros and you got there were pros on the floor. There were professional basketball players on the floor that night. There were high level Division I basketball players all on both rosters. And you had two amazing coaches. I think Coach Washington and Coach Mack are one of the best coaches in the state of Georgia. They get the most out of whatever team they're coaching at all times, whether they're winning or losing. And the staffs and the players and the environment, you had Norcross little bitty fans, but Pebblebrook fan, them kids showed up and showed out, and they were so hype and it was so intense because that's what Colin Sexton brought when he played games. Like, it was an intensity. I'll never forget that game. Like, that'll be something that I'll forget. And I was a part of that game. Like, I can't take that away. I was on the sideline. I was in there. We sweating. We trying to be cool. Like, we coach. It was so intense. The only thing I hate about that year is we didn't win a state championship. We lost to Tipp County. They did a really good job of scouting against us. And that was the year I felt like, man, that would have been my state championship. I'm still proud of that team. I'm still proud of that group. It was an amazing year that we had, like, to go to City upon the places that we went. Like I said, I've been at the highest from a high school level as an assistant coach. So I would have to say that game. 2017 Elite Eight at Pebblebrook. And we had to play at Pebblebrook because they flipped the coin.
Yeah.
And if we would have went to the House of Blue at Norcross, it probably would have been even more because those kids was crazy. Like, Norcross's student section is pretty dope, and their student section, like I said, those students, they came in there, they were cheering. It was hot. It was intense. It was two teams battling, man. It was two teams that I think whoever won that game was going to be in the state championship game, regardless. So yeah, I would have to say that. 2017 versus Norcross. All right. Ooh, this is going to be a good one. The most memorable phone call you ever had. Good, bad, or indifferent. You got this call, and you'll never forget this phone call. And if you allow, I'll tell you mine. Mine's probably okay. Go ahead. I don't want to steal your time. Think about it. You got 15 seconds.
You go first.
No, because it's going to throw off the order.
Okay.
Because I asked you a question. So you answer, and I'll answer the question too, and I'll give it back to you to ask me.
Okay.
Oh, that's not fair. You answer a question. I can't give you.
No, but you can. I want to know your answer too. I will probably say when my godmom passed away.
I didn't see you going. Did I see you going? Oh wow. Okay. Do you want to explain or it's not
it was in the middle of finals, my junior year.
High school or college?
College.
Okay.
So my this godmom, she was like my second mom. So I told her everything. She was so dope. But she smoked for 20 plus years, decided to stop, and maybe about 2 years after quitting, found out she had lung cancer.
Lung cancer, that's awesome.
So it was pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
And when I found out, I was in my friend's room, and we were studying for finals. So I couldn't go to the funeral.
That's tough.
I remember that. That's probably the most.
This is Memorial Day, so shout out to all the people who have survived cancer and to those of us who have loved ones that have passed on due to cancer. Man, like, cancer sucks. Man, I think it's one of those things where we're always going to continue to fight it. I hope that technology, I hope with AI, I hope that we can find more ways to zero in on cancer and attack it. You know what I'm saying? But it is something that does affects everybody, man. It's one of those things you can't get away from. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. To answer my phone call is the phone call that I got that I was going to get a kidney. I think that was probably one of the more important phone calls that I've ever had in my life because it was that phone call that gave me this particular new lease on life. You know what I'm saying? And it was that phone call that gave me a deadline for dialysis. It didn't give me a deadline. Look at this one right. Hold on. I'm trying. Hey. All right. No, you already seen it.
You're already in camera, kid.
All right. What do we want?
Good night.
All right, good night.
Good night.
You know you can say it louder. They got you. Good night. We love you.
Love you. Okay.
See you in the morning.
She think you're playing.
All right. Okay. All right, let's get back. Yeah, that phone call that we had found that they had found a match, and that phone call was important because you were part of that phone call. Like, had you not done what you done for me or for Willie, right? Then I would have never got that phone call at that particular time. Who knows how long I would have been on the registry on the list, or whatever. But because of your sacrifice, I was able to, you know what I'm saying, be given an opportunity to live a life past where my body had already, basically was like, yo, you got to the end of your natural life. You need a boost. You need another kidney. So that phone call for me. All right, let's go back. It's your question. I stole you. We'll go two more because it's getting done. Then we'll wrap it up. What juicy one? Give me some. We got to sell this thing. Give me something to get to.
No, because my ones, you don't like my views.
No, because they're going to involve emotions and stuff like that. Let's like to make it fun. No, go ahead.
What's your most...
Ask whatever question.
Okay, so I'm the one I didn't answer. I'm curious for you. What was your most memorable date?
Ooh, let me tell you what I did. It was our first date. Why you look at me like that? This is a setup. I take the bait. I took this young lady to Puerto Rico. It was a single mom. She had been struggling. I met her. We were talking. We were having communications. It wasn't on some I'm trying to sleep with you type stuff. It was really on some I want to give you. I was a saver. Like I wanted to save you. Like kind of deal with me. That was me. This was in like my early 30s.
Okay.
This is when I had it. I was working at AT&T. I was doing well. I was late 20s. Sorry. I was working at AT&T. I was doing the call center stuff. I was doing like almost $40, $50 an hour. I was making like $80,000 a year or whatever. So I had a little bit with her. And I used to go over to Puerto Rico to the Carmen de Playa, something like that. I forgot the name of it. I used to go over there to the little resort. I used to go to the little resort. They had the private beach I can go hang out with. I got an old picture of me used to be on the hammocks and read. That's what I did. So one time I took this young lady. She was a single mom. I was like, I gifted her a babysitter. Like I paid for the babysitter or whatever. And we went over to Puerto Rico. We hung out. No sex was involved or anything. But like we just hung out. We went to Morton Steakhouse. Like I took her to the steakhouse. Got her a massage. I wanted her to give her like a little reprieve. It was like a little 3-4 day thing. So that was probably the most memorable for me outside of course, me meeting, dating you or my wife. Our honeymoon was memorable because I'd never been on a cruise. But like, that was like my first time trying to do like some fake baller stuff. That's why it was memorable because I go back to those times where like I had it and I could have did things, but like the need to coach. But probably outside of that would be our honeymoon. I've never been on a cruise. And for you to take me on that cruise and have that as my first cruise experience, I appreciate that because it didn't sour me on cruises. Like I'm not saying I won't ever I went. It's not one of those things where I said I did it and I won't do it again. If I could do it with you because your experience, I think that helped me out a whole lot because you set expectations for stuff. So that was cool. So, but yeah, outside of me marrying, probably my late 20s, taking that young lady over to Puerto Rico and showing her a good time, like and not being like you gotta have sex, like one of those the red pill, blue pill thing people talk about now. Like I actually did something nice for somebody and didn't have an expectation to have sex or do anything like that. So that would be that for that. Okay. I'm honest about that.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna hear about that later. That was your question. It was my turn. Mm-hmm. What is in the past 8 years, what has been the most memorable thing about raising Ayan? Because it's been 8 years. We're going on here.
The most memorable thing?
What was the most memorable thing about raising her? Like, something in 8 years, you like, oh man, I'll never forget this in the 8 years so far. Like, so far. Because I know you'll create one for 8. See, it makes you laugh. I like that. You do that.
She is who she is.
Okay.
Has always been, even as a baby.
Yeah.
So she likes to dance. Mm-hmm. So she would be in the back in her car seat, and she would dance. She used to love granola bars, so she used to eat them. And I remember there was one time we were listening to Beyonce, and she said, "Is Beyonce?" And I was like, "Yes." She has superpowers, and I don't know where that came from, but I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, Oh, but she was eating a granola bar, just like dancing to the song. This Beyonce? She was like, she has superpowers? Oh, like, and I was, she is who she is now. She's always been that way. She was, I wasn't even back to work yet. She was under 6 weeks old. Yeah. And I was just kind of amazed at her. I was messing with her. She was asleep. And she shooed my hand away. Mm-hmm. And I heard her voice. And her voice has always been raspy. Yeah. Like, and I was like it's deeper. Yeah. There's a deeper. Yeah. So even at like, she maybe 5 weeks. Mm-hmm. I wasn't back at work yet. Yeah. It was the same voice. So it caught me off guard, and I was like, did she just? And it was kind of like like that. Like, leave me alone. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, okay. But she was like that in my belly. Yeah. There was one time I was asleep. I learned that you can sleep train your kid in your belly. Mm-hmm. So I would keep her awake during the day. Yeah. Because typically the babies will sleep in the mom's belly during the day and then keep them up at night. Yeah. And I didn't want that. So somebody taught me how to like keep her up. Yeah. So I did that. That's crazy. She would actually legitimately sleep with me. Yeah. The problem was when I moved. Right. So like, she got big enough to where she was probably head this way, and I was sleeping on this side. So technically, she was up a little bit. Yeah. And I decided to move. Yeah. And I moved I did a 180. I moved the other way, which made her flip. Yeah. So it woke her up. Yeah. And I could feel her move, right? So it was kind of like, okay, she's moving. So I was like, all right, whatever. Yeah. And like maybe a minute went by, and I felt the hardest kick I have ever felt in my life. See, that's the thing. We as men, we can't. How you describe it, we'll never know. Literally, like it was hard enough for me crazy. To be like, ow. Yeah. It's like she kicked me so hard, and it was just crazy? One. You know what's crazy? It was one kick. You know what's crazy? I can never be able to describe that with anything. Like any pain that I have in my stomach, I could never say it's like a baby kicking inside of me because I never would know how that. Man. That's wild. That's crazy that you said that. It was hard. Like I think I shed a tear. Yeah. Cause it hurt. Like, and it wasn't extra kicks. Mm-hmm. That let me know that was intentional. It was like a legitimate like one time. Yeah. And then she went back to sleep. Wow. That was up crying. But she's always been like that. She's very tough. That's good. Very stubborn. That's cool. And herself. Well, we'll wrap it up. We'll end with one last question that both of us will have to answer. Okay. We'll talk about the last 3 years of our lives together. Not the most memorable thing, but I think we just say something that is memorable that we both want to cherish for the rest of our lives about each other. And I'll start because I'll give you some head time to think. I'll never forget how we met. For those who may or may not know, Tamis and I met on Hinge, the app, the dating app. And I'll never forget seeing her picture and literally on the app, her literally shutting down like my life, my dating life. Like I knew from the moment that I seen her picture that I needed to find out who this person was. And I'll never forget that. I'll never forget May, June of 2023. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll never forget that. And it led into June, July, it led into August when I finally met her. So we met, we chatted, we talked. I still have our conversations from the very beginning. We talk about text threads were like this long because we were just our Twitter, our thumbs were just going. We were communicating, and who knew that that's a good way to communicate with you like texting, whatever. But that 3 month, 4 month run, and then culminating with you going to Africa and me realizing that you being in another country, I didn't want you to come back without me ever again. And here we are. Mm-hmm. That 4 months, which allowed me to clear out what I had, what I was dealing with, and then allow me to really get to the place like you being in Africa and you sharing with me your experience in Africa, you sharing with me
everything that you shared with me up until that point, when you came back, I knew, like, because that's when, I was like, I don't want you to ever go out of the country or anywhere without me ever again. And that's when I knew when you went to Africa that I had to meet you. But that was all from a picture. So like when people talk about love and how their love starts, it's hard for me to jump in those conversations because like I'm like, it's so unorthodox. It's so not what is traditional. Like I seen her picture. Like I kid you not, I was on Hinge. I was swiping left and right. Like I came to her picture, and on Hinge you could do like the icebreaker, and my icebreaker was I asked you about the appetizer, right?
No.
What was it? I asked you about what was the appetizer. That was the one that was using, but.
No.
No, I asked you about your. Oh no, because it goes back to what the ultimate goal of our life is. For those who may not know, I like asking these questions because in case we're on a game show, my wife wants to have a vineyard in Africa. That was the most unique answer that I ever had in my life. My icebreaker was what's something that you want to do, like for something that's wild or something like that you want to do. And you said you want to own a vineyard in Africa. At that moment, I said, this is it right here. Because I've never heard anybody say they want to own a vineyard in Africa. And that was not lost on me. And then, you just have conversation. And I can tell you the picture. It's her in a car, seatbelt. She has the faux lock. What is it, faux locks or whatever? She has the faux locks. She has on a green top. I'll never, you cannot, if you ask me to this day what that picture, I can tell you, I can describe her. I'll never forget it. It was just something about her that said, I have to have her. And then it goes back to the response. This woman said she wanted to have a vineyard in Africa. That is, if that doesn't set you apart, it wasn't nothing. And then when you dig, it's a good icebreaker because now it's it was like how she wanted to do the vineyard and what the vineyard could do and what she talked about what Africa represented. That's a memory that I'll never forget. Like our introduction to each other was what you would call unorthodox, but it's probably normal for 2020 for the 2020s. But it led to us being married, having a family, blending businesses, blending life, and here we are. So I'll take that memory with me. If anybody ever asks me, it's not a date, it's not a time, because we're going to always recreate those, but I'll go back to May of 2023 and swiping and coming across your photo and realizing that I have to find out who this is. And it wasn't necessarily about, I can't even tell you, it wasn't, she looks good, she looked good, she was fine. But it was just something about her. The words, the profile, it was just it felt different. I can't explain. The only thing I can say is the Holy Spirit led me there. I'm trying to figure out what magical formula that I did or anything. And I think it was just at a time where I just prayed to God that I wanted to try dating your way and not keep doing it my way. Because, and then that's how it happened. It's happened.
Oh.
Yeah.
I would probably say when we had the kidney transplant.
What was that? Ooh. Yeah, you're right. It is long.
So, for one, nobody. We always put the little donor thing on our license, right?
Yeah.
But you never think that one day your loved one would be dealing with something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And what I remember was when I couldn't find you when we were done.
Mm-hmm.
And I, called our caregivers. They were acting like it was weird of me to ask. Mm-hmm. So the nurse, she legitimately took time to call around the hospital to find you. Mm-hmm. And I remember literally when I heard your voice on the phone.
Because I was trying to find you. I wanted to make sure you were okay. That's the crazy thing about.
Make sure that you were okay.
I just had this kidney transplant. I'm worried about her. She worried about me. But so after my transplant, I had some complications with the oxygen in my body. So they had to take me to the NICU unit, the transplant NICU unit. So I was, and that unit was it's locked down, yeah. Right? So it's very hard. And so I come out of it. I remember. The only thing I remember during that whole process is seeing her go back, and that was it. I'm up in the hospital bed. I don't remember anything after that. We were talking. I was joking. I was like, joking and stuff like that. Then I was gone. I was out. Yeah. And everything happened, and I wake up. So yeah, we both were trying to find each other. That's the crazy thing.
And then I also remember once we got to the Airbnb, the caregivers thought we needed to be in separate rooms. And they were trying to get either you or me to be in a different room. And I remember you being like, nope, my wife is staying right here, right next to me.
We weren't married then.
But that's what you said. You was like, nope, she ain't going nowhere. She was like, you said, and in that moment, I felt very protected and cared for. And I was like, okay, I'm staying right here. Because I didn't want to go. I didn't want to leave you in the room, but they didn't want us to be. Yeah. And you were like, no, she's staying. And we was like, we're going to do what we got to do to stay healthy, but we right here.
I don't remember that. But
and I was grateful for that.
I think after I had the risk of infection, right? Something like that, yeah.
So they were worried about us being around each other.
Yeah.
But yeah. Man.
Well, that concludes the Alti and James Memorial Day episode. We'll post this here shortly. Man, if you and your spouse and your significant other sit down and just ask each other some questions, you'll find out some very interesting things. I just found out that my wife worked for Radio Disney. I didn't know. It tracks, but I didn't know that. Maybe she found out some things she didn't know about me or share. But I think these are great opportunities to kind of pick and pull things from your spouse and go into this with an open mind that they may share something that you may understand or don't understand, but like I think it gives you another insight.
Sorry.
Let's close the show out of here. Focus. Just give me 30 seconds to end this. So hey, have an opportunity, share with us a memory if you have one of us or not, or with your spouse. We hope that you can take these things and can utilize them. We love you. We honor you in your life and your relationship. We hope that you can find lasting and make memories with the ones you care about and love the most. We want to say a rest in peace to all our loved ones that have gone on to glory. And we hope that we'll be able to see you in the next lifetime, Erica Badu. But yeah, during this time, man, we're just thankful. We're grateful. Most importantly, we're grateful that Christ Jesus died on the cross so that we can have life and have it more abundantly, whether it's here on this earth or in the afterlife. And we hope that's same for you. And if you need us, reach out. If not, just watch 30 seconds, 20, 30 seconds. We're trying to be content creators a little bit, right? No, maybe? Okay. No, she's not. We just do these because this is like our therapy a little bit. We talk about some things. We love you.
All right. Love you.
No, okay. She loves you.
Bye.
No Alti moment.